What strategy has Lewis Hamilton unveiled that's left Ferrari's engineers speechless? Why is the seven-time world champion willing to risk everything on a circuit where one mistake means game over? And could this radical approach be the spark that either rescues Ferrari's crumbling season or exposes every weakness they've been hiding? Lewis Hamilton has dropped a bombshell ahead of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's not just another setup tweak or minor adjustment. This is a complete rewrite of how Ferrari will attack one of the most unforgiving circuits on the calendar. After months of watching the SF25 promise speed in simulations, but deliver disappointment on track, Hamilton has decided the only path forward is pure, calculated aggression. Singapore isn't just another race. Marina Bay is a 23-corner labyrinth where overtaking is virtually impossible and qualifying determines your fate. Concrete walls line every corner, waiting to punish the slightest error. In this environment, most drivers focus on preservation and careful management. Hamilton is doing the exact opposite. His plan is deceptively simple to describe but incredibly difficult to execute. Brake later, push harder, and inject a level of aggression into Ferrari's approach that the team has been too cautious to embrace. For a driver who built his legacy on control and precision, this gamble on raw aggression is both thrilling and dangerous. The free practice sessions revealed exactly why Hamilton believes this risk is necessary. In FP1, both he and Charles Leclerc found reasonable rhythm through the opening sectors. But FP2 brought reality crashing down. The twisty technical demands of Sector 3 exposed the SF25's flaws mercilessly. Rear instability, weak traction, and nervous braking robbed Hamilton of tenths every lap. The numbers tell a brutal story. Ferrari finished over 3/10 adrift of McLaren. Even worse, the year-on-year comparison showed they're nearly 7/10 slower than in 2024. While rivals have found speed, Ferrari have gone backwards. The message couldn't be clearer. Raw pace won't be enough. Hamilton must outthink the opposition. But here's what makes this strategy even more dramatic. The timing reveals something deeper about Ferrari's crisis. And Hamilton's solution targets the one weakness that's been haunting him since he arrived at Maranello. Hamilton's bold plan begins with the brakes. After years of driving with Mercedes' carbon industry system, he struggled to feel the same instant response with Ferrari's Brembo package. Too often, the car feels unsettled under braking. Too often, he lacks the trust to dive deep into braking zones like he once did. Singapore, with its endless stop-start sequences, is a playground for braking mastery. Hamilton has openly admitted that the only way to find the missing time is to change his approach completely. He will brake later, push harder, and take risks in places where others lift. It's a gamble with Marina Bay's walls waiting to punish mistakes. Ferrari's engineers have been stunned by this demand. The FP2 data proves Sector 3 is their undoing, and Hamilton's aggressive braking philosophy means they must rethink the entire setup around him. Softer rear suspension could provide the stability he needs, even if it costs speed on the straights. Aero balance adjustments could shift grip forward, helping him throw the car into corners without fear of snapping out. This isn't a setup built for compromise. It's tailored for a driver who has decided that if Ferrari won't give him the car he needs, he'll force them to adapt to his will. After months of frustration, Hamilton is imposing himself on Maranello, and the team is listening. What Hamilton is really betting on goes beyond just his driving style. It's about forcing Ferrari to change something they've failed at all season. And Singapore's unique conditions could make this the perfect storm for his plan to work. The context makes Hamilton's gamble even more compelling. Ferrari have already slipped behind Mercedes in the constructors' standings. McLaren are charging ahead, and the Tifosi have grown weary of excuses. Their patience shattered after watching Carlos Sainz, the driver Ferrari let go, celebrate a podium with Williams while their new superstar pairing limped home outside the fight. Into this storm steps Hamilton, not with empty promises about 2026, but with a bombshell strategy that could pull Ferrari out of the midfield if executed perfectly. Singapore's brutal conditions amplify the drama. Cockpit temperatures soar above 60 degrees Celsius. For nearly 2 hours, drivers balance on the edge of exhaustion and precision. Every corner is lined by concrete walls, and every lapse is punished instantly. For Hamilton, this isn't a deterrent but an opportunity. He has 4 victories here already, and he knows that in chaos, experience is gold. Safety cars are almost guaranteed, and strategy can flip on a single lap. This is where Hamilton's approach connects with the FIA's latest change, raising the pit lane speed limit from 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, two-stop strategies become viable, and flexibility is rewarded. Hamilton has made it clear he wants aggression not just in his driving, but in Ferrari's strategy calls. He wants them to trust instinct and gamble when the moment demands it. But FP2's results reveal why this strategy could either be genius or disaster. And what happens in Sector 3 will determine whether Hamilton's gamble pays off or becomes another painful chapter in Ferrari's difficult season. The FP2 results show Ferrari ranked well in Sectors 1 and 2, but the deficit in Sector 3 leaves them vulnerable to Aston Martin and even Racing Bulls. McLaren and Mercedes are clearly stronger overall, but Singapore has a way of tearing up predictions. If Hamilton's plan works, if he can brake later and fight harder, the SF25 might just punch above its weight in the parts of the track where it's been weakest. That wouldn't only change this weekend's story, it could redefine Ferrari's approach for the remainder of the season. What this bombshell really represents is Hamilton's refusal to accept mediocrity. He came to Ferrari not to be another name in their history books, but to write a new chapter of triumph. His strategy isn't just about lap time, it's about mentality. It's him demanding that Ferrari stop playing safe, stop hiding behind excuses, and start daring to risk everything in pursuit of results. The Tifosi have longed for this fire. The question now is whether Ferrari can match Hamilton's courage with bold strategy calls and flawless execution. Or will Marina Bay's unforgiving walls expose the truth they've been avoiding all season? One thing is certain. Under Singapore's floodlights, we're about to find out if Hamilton's most daring gamble can turn the tide when Ferrari need it most.